Okay, so let's make our own word Sudoku. So the first thing that we're going to do is brainstorm a couple 4-letter words. So you know me and my Star Wars. Let's see. How about some 6-letter words? I mean, of course, you know, me and my Star Wars. By the way, my brainstorm here is going a lot faster because I've already done this. So I am making sure that I have no repeating words. So maybe I wanted to do like the Death Star for a 9-letter word, but I do have 2 A's. So that's going to be difficult. If I'm really set on doing that, I would just have to make sure that the logic is there to solve it, because we all remember the evil hobgoblin that I gave you, that there weren't enough clues to know where all the O's went. I would be cautious of that. I'd really prefer no repeating letters, but I was lucky in that I did come across this. I actually had to go open up my Star Wars dictionary and just start looking at all the words and names and people and locations. All right, so I think this is a good place to start. So the next thing I want to do is I need to create the answer key. So I have to remember that in a 4x4 Sudoku, there are actually 4 quads. So if I'm using blue, I have to use the word blue in each row, each column, and each cell. So now working this out so this is my key, this is my solution, this is my answer. Now I'm going to now create the puzzle to give to someone. So this is the first puzzle I gave. And I gave this puzzle to my daughter, and she actually said it was way too easy. So then I decided I wanted to make it as challenging as possible. And I knew that, so what I would do to have her test it is I would cover this up with a Post-it, and I would hand it to a friend and say, can you solve my puzzle? And then I asked, what'd you think about it? How was it? Sorry about this. This is from my disastrous magenta cookies that I made. So in knowing that she gave me the feedback, it was too easy. I didn't want it to be a beginner puzzle. I know a 4x4 people think of as a beginner, but I wanted it to be medium. I wanted to at least create some thinking, some note taking. So then I came up with the idea that if I only give 1 clue in each cell, and I only give 1 clue in each row in each column, so I tried to find a way to do a B, an L, a U, and an E, 1 in each column, and it took a couple tries, but I was able to come up with this. And this is now my final puzzle. I'm going to call it blue. It is a 4x4, and I believe it is a medium. And now I am done with my word Sudoku. That's it. Now I can let you know I've also done puzzles for Jedi, for Sith, for Master, for Kenobi, for Obi-Wan, for Flower. I tried to make one for Aphrodite, but I messed something up, so I need to revisit this. So, but I only needed to make one. Technically, this puzzle's over. Now, again, if I were to make a 6x6 for Flower, I would have to figure out where to put all the letters. So this took a while for me to make an answer key. So here's my answer. And then I covered it up, and I only gave some of the clues. I gave all the red clues again to my daughter. And then she was able to solve it. She still says that this was a beginner. but I noticed she did do some clues, but like me, she's very, very thorough. So this might be a medium because there was some note taking involved. A beginner wouldn't need that. So I'm going to call this flower. So now I would have a second one. Now, if you're going to make a 9x9, there are a couple ways to do it. One is to actually create an answer key. That is extremely challenging and will take you a very long time to do. But if anyone wants to be able to say they created one, but I also suggest then you go to Sudoku.com and you open up a 9x9 puzzle at the level you want, either easy or medium or whatever it is you want. And it will give you a puzzle and then you substitute. So wherever in the puzzle they had a 1, I put my A for Aphrodite. Wherever they had a 2, I put a P. Wherever they had a 3, I put an H. So I was able to change all their letters into this. Warning though, you then have to solve it. I made the mistake of I solved the puzzle online. But once you put the last letter in, the puzzle disappears and a new puzzle pops up. And I wasn't able to go back and see my answer key. So if you solve it online, make sure you get a screenshot before you put in the last letter. Otherwise, you're going to have to start over. And this has some errors. And I don't know if the errors in my logic or did I put these in the wrong spot. So actually, if I was going to do Aphrodite, I'm actually going to start that completely over, go back to Sudoku.com and start over. But if you're going to do a 9x9, this is my suggestion. If you really want to challenge yourself, I believe making a 6x6 and coming up with the solution yourself is quite challenging. I am still working on my Obi-Wan. I found an error, so I have to work on that again. But I was Master and Kenobi where you can see how I had to reverse some letters in order to make it work along the way, and that's what was so fun. But the Obi-Wan needs a little bit more time for me. So that is your word, Sudoku.